Alright, it's Thursday, March 7th, and mid-afternoon heading back into Hong Kong from Zhongshan, and I bet I've made this ferry trip at least 1,000 times, at least, over a span of 25 years. Typical gray, cool time of year.
Please maintain a clean environment within the ferry, and toilets are located at the back
Yep.
of the cabin.
Same old, same old.
Permitted anywhere on board the vessel. There may be some turbulent waves during sailing. Please remain seated and take good care of children and elderly. We provide disposal bags to passengers who may experience
Yep.
sickness during the journey.
Same old, same old.
Please do not hesitate to ask
You know, it's interesting,
for your safety.
as I've evolved in this this career of mine, I get a kick and an appreciation out of what the lifestyle that I live. I mean, in a matter of 3 days, I've gone from Kaohsiung, Taiwan, to Hong Kong, to Zhongshan, to Shenzhen, to Dongguan, to Guangdong, back to Zhongshan, back to Hong Kong. Got to fly to Thailand for a quick little medical procedure. Then Sunday, I leave and go to Vietnam, where I'll be next week. Then back to Kaohsiung. No, I'm sorry, Vietnam, then Cambodia, then back to Vietnam, and then Kaohsiung, then Hong Kong, then back to China, and that's all before April, and it's March 6th now. March 7th, I'm sorry, now. So yeah, you know what? Part of the job, go from factory to factory, staff to staff, problems to problems, opportunities to opportunities. And it's pretty interesting. I mean, if you like to travel, the expat life is for you. I was saying to somebody the other night that I was having dinner with, one of our sources, he's got some kids, and he was asking me what are my perspectives on employment and the future and all that. And it all varies, you know, but if you're so inclined, send your kid to Cordwainer or Pia Fistoria footwear school in Italy, or cobbler schools in England, and learn all about footwear, and then you'll have a job for the rest of your life working in a footwear factory. It was interesting. From grad school, I was going to go to work for the Bank of Boston, peddling mutual funds. Had accepted a job in Boston, and that was my career path, I thought. And then lo and behold, I got offered a job at Penn Tennis Balls, of all things, and we got into footwear, and next thing I knew, I was going to school for footwear, and after getting my graduate degree from Northwestern, so I ended up going into footwear, making shoes in Asia. I woke up 9 months later after school in Italy, and went to they sent me to Korea, making outsoles, midsoles, and uppers, sleeping, chasing Korean girls during the night, and making footwear all day, and then hit the repeat button. I went from Korea to Taiwan to Indonesia to India to Vietnam to all parts of China, And so, other than a brief stint, a couple of stints outside the industry, that's where I've spent the majority of my career is in Asia. And so, my working career. So it's been kind of interesting. And so I was saying to a counterpart of mine that's the source, I said, look, if your son really wants an interesting career, go into footwear. And, you don't need a 4-year degree. In fact, that's a waste of money. Go to a footwear school, learn how to make footwear, and learn all the automation that's tied into footwear. And, you can specialize in vulcanized, you can specialize in all kinds of footwear. Athletic, brown shoe market, whatever. And you may end up in India or Vietnam or Indonesia or Pakistan. God knows where you'll end up. But you will have a career, and it will be extremely interesting. In my case, as you migrate around, you migrate upward in your career. You start to get into management and open up wholly foreign-owned enterprises and rep offices and managing and hiring staff and being accountable for cost of goods sold and all that kind of good stuff, balance sheet stuff, which is my life. And so having 6 different countries, 6 different wolfies and rep offices, staff, 18 different factories, boatload of T2 and T3 source suppliers along with T1s. You could imagine the responsibilities that you take on, and it's a real privilege over the years. I've come to really appreciate it because you're helping people's lives out. My team used to walk to work, and now they have multiple cars, and they have multiple homes, and I've introduced them to this thing called debt. No, everybody complained when they were walking, but they had no debt. And bicycles, now they have tons of debt, and they're they've got multiple cars and houses. So it's kind of interesting how that works. But we'll save that for another day. But it's been an interesting career, that's for sure. I find myself at 64 years of age and extremely appreciative for the life that I've lived, and the things that I've had, the experiences that I've been able to enjoy, and the things that you see, people that you meet, the contributions that you make to other people. I mean, that's probably the big thing, is the contributions that I've made to other people. I mean, I've had employees and sources that have married and had kids, and they come to me and say, hey, I need an English name. Well, I'm in for 7 of them. I've actually given 7 names between staff and sources. I've named 7 of their children. So that's kind of interesting. Not everybody gets to do that. It's just interesting. I don't know how else to say it. China is the world's garage. I was remarking to a colleague of mine that of all the productivity that I've ever been around, and that includes good old US of A, I'll take Chinese labor any day of the week compared to any other country that I've ever worked in the world, as far as productivity and efficiency and just flat out just flat out throughput. You can't beat China. I mean, even today, as things have simmered down quite a bit, due to COVID and the economy in China, it's still the world's garage, and there's still a force to reckon with. Yes, a lot of product, a lot of things have moved down to Vietnam. We were one of the first to expand down to Vietnam, and a lot, good portion of our manufacturing is down in Vietnam, but still maintain some pretty high-end product in China, and you know what? We're all the better for it. We have belt and suspenders, but nobody that I know of is efficient and throughput-wise get product out the door like the Chinese. I mean, they work smart. It's not a matter of working hard. They work smart, and it's been a really interesting experience. Zhongshan, where I'm leaving, about an hour and a half ferry ride into Hong Kong. So it's not so bad. Take it directly to the airport and get your flight, or it takes you directly into Hong Kong. You can go on the Hong Kong side or the Kowloon side. I need to go to the Kowloon side because I have a meeting. But yeah, it's all good. I remember back in the day, 20 years ago, get off the ferry and everybody'd make a hightail it to Dan Ryan's for the afternoon Friday Follies, as I used to call it. Friday Follies. Go to Dan Ryan's there at Harbor Plaza and second floor and have happy hour and a decent burger because you've been in China for a week or two and you're just completely fried and you'd like to have something that is remotely recognizable. And so we'd go to Dan Ryan's, we'd all meet there, all the shoe dogs, and we'd meet there and have our beers and burgers. How's that? That's how it went down. Most of the, I've been at this now 16 years. Most GMs or chief operating officers of supply chain or whatever, however you want to title it, doesn't matter. Shelf life is about 3 years. The average stint. I've been at it 16. And I laugh because I'm sort of the elder statesman when I run into people that have my role that are in the industry, or the old timers that come back. They're like, "You're still doing this?" They're like, "How do you manage?" Because your body gets just beat to shit. If you can imagine, between hotel beds that you're in over the years to just the logistics and just the stress and strain of the job itself gets a little bit, you get a little tattered through the years. It's like a big block of ice. It's one drip at a time that takes it out of you, and over a period of 2 or 3 years you can get really fried. Well, I've not only been fried, but I've been liquidated. I mean, this is just eating me alive, physically, mentally, and so forth. But on the other side of the coin, it's also, I've reached a point that I can sustain it. I'm not quite certain how I'm able to sustain it, because I'm up at usually 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and managing calls overseas, and then you go to bed about 8, 9 o'clock at night. You wind things down and try and get some rest, and it's not always easy because calls start coming in sometimes 10, 11 at night. It's not that's not an occasional occurrence. It happens about 3 times a week. So calls start coming in about 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, and you get up at 3. So you can imagine over a period of time that starts to really wear on your body and your mind, and you're not able to eat properly. You're not able to take vitamins. God forbid you get caught taking vitamins in some of these countries, because not everything is legal that we characterize as supplements or vitamins. So it's just not worth taking stuff in. So you don't have your supplements with you. The food that you eat is sketchy at best sometimes. It's gotten better through the years, but it is what it is. So it's all relative. Coming up here, that's the new bridge, and that's nice because you can take that from Zhongshan into Shenzhen, and it's made life a lot easier. A lot easier as far as transportation. You cut off about an hour and a half. So I go to and from Zhongshan to Shenzhen about an hour and a half now, which is really nice. Used to be about 3 hours, 2 hours and 45-minute drive, and it was arduous at best because we'd have to go across the big bridge, and there was always some knucklehead that would either run out of gas or get in a wreck, and then you're backed up like cordwood, just stacked up. You can't go anywhere. I've been stuck on that bridge for hours, and that's not pleasant. So, it is what it is, and you know what? I'm in good spirits. Got about 6 hours sleep last night, which is a lot for me, and I'll go in, have my meeting, head off, get the medical procedure taken care of, and then off to Vietnam, then Cambodia, then back to Vietnam, then to Kaohsiung, Taiwan, then back to Hong Kong, then back to China. Life is an expat in Asia. I was looking the other day, I have 687, not nights, but reservations. And the average stays anywhere from 2 nights to 4 nights, so we'll call it 3 nights, the average stay in a hotel. So think about that. That's a lot. It's a lot of strange mattresses. Hard, soft, extra hard, extra soft, and everything in between. So your hips start to really get impacted over a period of time. And like I say, I've had plenty of 5-star. My life, if I wanted, it's 5-star. I'll take 1 star. I'll take a nice tuna fish sandwich, glass of milk, and a pickle out on the porch in Scottsdale, Arizona, over any 5-star dinner that you can find in Asia, because I probably had most of them, or a 5-star experience. My idea of 5-star is 1 star, and it's at home. A lot to be said for the best meal that you ever have in your life is the meal you have at home. I completely agree with that. Completely agree. If I never go on a plane or a train or eat at a 5-star or 4-star or no-star restaurant again, I'm perfectly fine with that. I just as soon stay home, eat at home. Not much of a TV watcher, but having a good glass of wine, maybe a beer, kick back, read a book, nice fireplace, big old Mastiff, whatever, just chilling out, not doing much, a couple of tasks a day, that's about it. You know what? Go for your walks, swim a little bit, try and eat properly, rest accordingly, say your prayers, volunteer a little bit, doing something that doesn't matter to me but may matter to somebody else. That's how we'll wrap up this lifetime, God willing. But until then, we're living the expat life, and it's different. It's really different. Yeah. So, meeting in Hong Kong, head to Thailand. What I hope to be a quick little medical procedure. Head out of there, go to Vietnam. All kinds of initiatives that I need to attend to in Vietnam. Then it's off to Cambodia, same thing. Although I'm excited about kind of going back to Cambodia. I haven't been there in about a year. year and a half, and although I got all kinds of problems I got to deal with, no, I was there. When was I there? I'm sorry, I was there 8 months ago, not a year and a half, 8 months ago. So I got to check on some operations, some product output that we've recently moved there. But I'm excited to go. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to stay. Raffles or the Sofitel. I'd probably stay at the Sofitel. I like the Sofitel. Raffles is okay, but I like the Sofitel. It's better for me. Won't have time to do much there. Maybe go to the Russian market. Go out to dinner once or twice. And I got to cop me some new Buddha books. I got good Buddha books there at the Sofitel, so I'll cop me a couple of them. Get them for $20-$30 a piece. I'll get 4 of them. I give those out to people. I like to read that, all about Buddhism. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, I'll do that. And tied up with work, and it's back to the land of Uncle Ho. Be good to sleep in my apartment bed. Got a comfy bed there in Vietnam. It's not so bad. It's all good. You know what? Day in the life of an expat. Factory, travel, new hotel, unpack, factory, come back, pack, travel, and hit the repeat button. Life consists of hotels, factories, meetings, food, little sleep, a lot of phone calls, computer time. What else? Every once in a while, you go out and have a beer with some buddies. I got a bunch of shoe dog buddies that have contacted me that, again, want to meet, and I don't have time. That's usually a weekly occurrence. There's either a poker game, a happy hour, a dinner, or something going on with the expat crowd here in Asia. And I go hit and miss. They give me a hard time. I'm in, and then I'm out. But I can't keep up with these youngsters. So they go out and they do their thing and yuck it up. And I've been there, done that. When you're in your 50s and 60s, your priorities change. And my enthusiasm has waned many years ago as far as going out and yucking it up. I don't do that too much anymore. Every once in a while I'll go out with some sheepdog guys and have a beer. That probably contributes to the angst, because every once in a while I'll go out and have a good time with these guys, and it's good company, and then they, like anything else, it's okay, here's where we're gonna meet next Friday, and here's where we're gonna meet the following Friday. And I'm like, no man, I'm on a ferry, a train, or a plane, or an automobile going somewhere else to some other country usually. So, and what's comical is you've got your Vietnam expats, you've got your China expats, you've got your Hong Kong expats, you've got your Thailand expats, you've got your Cambodian expats, and you've got your Taiwan expats. So you've got each one of these groups have their connectivity, and they're all in sporting goods. So you got your footwear people, you've got your hard goods people, and so everybody, like I say, everything's made out here. Everything baseball mitt groups to baseball bat groups to hockey stick groups to hockey skate groups to footy groups, all kinds of footwear, expats. You've got the golf industry well represented. I mean, everything that's made in a sporting goods store is, for the most part, I say everything. I hate to generalize, but it would be a challenge to find a lot of stuff that's made in the United States. Most of it's made, somewheres in Asia, Philippines, China, Vietnam, India, I mean, you name it, Korea. Not a lot of manufacturing in Korea anymore. They're not, I'll call it IT type stuff, cell phones and whatnot. But even that's moved to China and Vietnam a long time ago. So there's not much manufacturing going on in relative scale. I mean, I'm not saying there isn't any, but not like it used to be when I first started. I mean, Korea and Taiwan were the world's garage. Now it's China, India, Indonesia, Vietnam, and it goes. It varies depending upon the catastrophe of the moment. You'll pick up, move tooling, go to a new country. It happens a lot. But anyway, you know what? All good. All good. All good in the hood. So I'm going to sign off here. This is one for the ages that I'll look back on with a smile as to how many times I've taken this ferry. So you figure at least twice a week minimum. That's 8 a month. You can do the math. Multiply that by 12. Multiply that by 16 years. So yeah, it is what it is. It's well over 1,000. Well, at least well over 1,000. Because I'll take the ferry to Panyu. I'll take it to Shekau. I'll take it to Zhongshan. I'll take it to Zhuhai. So I'm on a ferry all the time, or on a plane all the time. Anyway, you know what? Beats sitting in an office. I don't think I could sit in an office. In fact, there's no way I could sit in an office all day, 8 to 5. And that's not going to happen. Fortunately, I'm 64. I don't have to worry about it anymore. But either rate, there you have it. Gray, murky, chilly, early March 2024. Heading into Hong Kong on the ferry. Most enjoyable. Gotta go. Bye-bye.